Smoke with me, chat with me, smoke with me, chat with me. Hey, let's smoke and chat.
Yo, rubber duckies, what is up? On today's episode of Smoke and Chat, we have Jamil Davis. And go ahead and introduce yourself, dude.
Okay, I'm Jamil Davis. Some days I'm Jamal still. Jamil Davis is what my mother named me. Jamal still is what the streets gave me. I'm a MC. I'm a producer. I write songs on occasion. I'm just an all-around great guy. And I work for this awesome organization known as Black Voters Matter. And the role that I'm in with Black Voters Matter is that I'm the Florida State organizing manager for Black Voters Matter. So like the whole state of Florida, if anything goes down in the state of Florida and Black Voters Matter is attached to it in any way, shape, form, or fashion, that's me. Like that's
a lot of weight to carry, bro.
Like I don't, I don't know any way else to say it. Like I ain't even trying to be, like how the kids say, slight flex, that's me,
Slight flex,
that's me. Like I ain't even trying to be that guy. Like,
but I mean, man,
that's literally what they pay me.
If that's what you do,
on the 1st and the 15th for, yeah.
That man said, "I am a government employee."
I did 1st and the 15th.
Fuck with me.
That's when they pay me, 1st and the 15th. But yeah, and to know, like I enjoy everything I do. I think the best thing in my life that I enjoy doing and that I enjoy being is a father to an awesome, incredible 1.5-year-old, my daughter, Lolanyo Imani. Lolanyo is a West African name that means love is beautiful. Imani is also a North African name that means faith. And if you celebrate Kwanzaa, you already knew what Imani meant anyway. So there's that. But yeah, that's my heart. That's my little G right there. Yeah, she awesome. She dope. But that's me. That's me in a nutshell.
Well, bro, I got a question for you. What role do you think you play in the community?
Man, that's a question to start off with.
Yeah, we going with it. That's how Smoke and Chat go, bro. We hit it heavy.
I feel like the role that I play now is one of gatekeeper, but not even so much. So I hate the tainted definition of gatekeepers. When you hear the word gatekeeper, I think people automatically think person who tries to control whatever field or sphere of influence.
I get what you mean. Yeah.
And that ain't me. I don't try to control it. I think what I really try to do is I try my best to try to mentor the next generation of thought leaders, the next generation of freedom fighters, honestly just the next generation of dope MCs and artists in a nutshell. But more so just the next generation of black revolutionaries. I think the problem is that we never really had people after they killed Dr. King, they killed Malcolm X, they flooded crack in the streets, they flooded cocaine and heroin in the streets.
What do you have to say to the people who say that didn't happen? Because I brought that up to numerous amounts of people, and they've been like, "That's not true."
It's a whole document out called COINTELPRO.
Thank you. I needed some facts.
That's a real thing. Like COINTELPRO is an operative that happened during the 60s and 70s by the FBI, and its sole purpose was to eliminate, and this is literally what it said, to eliminate the threat and the rise of a black messiah in black communities in this country. That's why they killed Dr. King, that's why they killed Malcolm X, and that's why they killed Fred Hampton. I feel like I'm a gatekeeper. I feel like my role in the community is that of a gatekeeper, that of a mentor. And just that of a person who understands where resources are for us to be able to do this work, and how our people can obtain those resources for the movement to be even stronger. So yeah, that's definitely where I feel like I fit. That's definitely where I feel like I fit into the scope of what we do as far as the work that we do specifically in this community. So I feel like I feel like people don't understand the gravity of what it means to have a statewide organizing manager be from this part of Florida. So when it comes to politics or any type of social justice organizing work, and you're a part of a huge organization that gets like a lot of big time funding, when they're looking for a state director, when they're looking for a state organizing director, when they're looking for a state organizing manager, it's 4 cities that they go to hire somebody. They either go to Tallahassee, because it's the capital. They go to Jacksonville, especially if it's a black organization, because Jacksonville, don't believe what they tell you, Jacksonville is literally the blackest city in the state of Florida. Jacksonville is the blackest city in the state of Florida. They go to Orlando, because that's where all the money at, and they go to Miami, because it's South Florida, and that's where all the immigrants and everything, and those 4 cities. So for them to decide that the person that we want to make the state organizing manager for Black Voters Matter is going to be from Pensacola, Florida.
Little ass Pensacola.
That's it. Like, and it's a city that's notoriously known for being. It's known as Little Alabama or Lower Alabama.
I hate that shit.
And I despise it with a passion as well.
I'm not in Alabama at all. I'm in Florida.
I'm definitely in Florida. And it's certain days where the temperature get where it's supposed to be, and I'll be like, yeah, I'm in Florida. I'm in Florida for real. But no, like, that's a huge deal. Like, I don't think anybody understands that. I don't think anybody understands the fact that within Pensacola is the statewide organizing manager for Black Voters Matter and the North Florida regional organizer for Dream Defenders, which is one of the biggest Black and brown power building organizations that's just based in the state of Florida. Like, literally, the person that runs all of North Florida for Dream Defenders lives in Pensacola. It's from Pensacola.
And that's crazy, because like,
born and raised in Pensacola.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal to know that Little Behind Pensacola is really honestly getting the recognition that it's supposed to get for building Black power in this state. And I think slowly you'll start seeing, because I mean, we constantly mentoring people every day. We constantly sitting with people every day in this city, having conversations with them. I know I do when I can, when I'm actually home.
Yeah.
We sitting with people every day, just having these type of conversations to get people engaged in this type of work. So I think you're going to see that the movement doesn't stop.
Yeah.
Once myself and Hell, shout out to Hell.
That was one of the people that actually kind of told me about it a little bit more.
Yeah.
So shout out to Hell for
Yeah, shout out to Hell. Well, yeah, Hell run North Florida for Dream Defenders. I run the state for Black Voters Matter. Like, this is the type of. These are the type of people that people in Pensacola had easy access to, because we snore. We snore in our beds here in Pensacola, like, for real.
Are you Jamal Still on Instagram? Or
yes, Jamal Still, J-A.
Black and white photo?
Yep.
Gotcha.
That's me. Yeah, like, you you all have that sort of, y'all all have that type of access to us, and we make ourselves. That's the other thing. We make ourselves accessible. Like won't just be like, oh, okay.
I see your ass all the time, everywhere. Be like, does he got a baby? Does he sleep?
I sleep, but I don't sleep for that long. Oh nah, and shout out to my child, bro. Like she's actually like she learning for real how to actually like she got the like when it's time to go to bed, she got that down to a science, my guy. Like yo, like
she knew how to go to bed, dog.
It was a struggle it was a struggle at first. Like it was like yo, she lay down at like 8:39, cause wake right back up at like 1:32 in the morning. And then we have to like be struggling to put her back down again. Yeah. Like no, like now, like her bedtime is at 9:30. Her bedtime at 9:30. Cuz don't wake up again until 6:37 in the morning. I'm like, yo, she really be sleeping now. Like she really know what it means when we say go to bed. Go to bed.
Be like, okay. I get it. You said
go to bed.
I'm finna be sleep, daddy. Watch.
And shout out to Daniel Tiger's neighborhood for that one too, cause like yo, like Daniel Tiger, be really doing it. It definitely be a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
So, what advice do you have to a black man in Pensacola? Specifically, a black man, and I only say that because I'm gonna give you an example. I was at the baby park. This man came up. I have a video of him. He was on the phone with the police, stating to the police that he had told me several times to get off the tennis court. I got my AirPods in. I don't even know this fucking band here. He like, hey. I'm like, oh, what the fuck? As soon as he realized I'm a girl, he like, oh, baby, I'm sorry. I'm like, baby? If I was a nigga, I wasn't baby. Yeah, exactly. Like, I was a scary black man. So what advice do you have for that?
And it's hard, man, because I don't be wanting to tell black people this. I don't be wanting to tell black men this, but like, yo, be aware of your surroundings, cause the only thing that they see when they see black men in this country, the only thing they see when they see black men in this country is they see thugs, criminals, and gangsters. The only thing that they see when they see black women in this country is they try to over-sexualize they do their best to try to over-sexualize black women, and they see black women as insignificant people in this country because they've been told and made to feel like black men don't concern with black women. But black men, they just like, yo, like, we all monsters. All of us are monsters. All of us are thugs. All of us are criminals. Can't none of us read. So, I mean,
and that would be the part for me. Like, bitch, I can't read.
Like, I'm very fluent in books. Like, it's a bunch of books in that backpack right now. But yeah, like, so be aware of your surroundings. Number one, that's the first thing. Never allow the white power structure to take away your manhood, take away who you are as a person. Never allow them to do that.
What could you say to black men who get too angry? And I only say that because that could also put us in a negative. You know, we usually go to jail. That's the next, you know.
Be assertive, but don't be violent in your assertiveness. It's a way to be assertive, but you don't gotta be over the top with it. Because I never want for black men to feel like they have to be docile, and I never want for black men to feel like they have to be docile when they're approached incorrectly, when they're approached unjustly. I never want for black men to feel like they have to weaken, cower,
Because that's how some are. They're like, I'm not gonna get mad, but I just, I'll do whatever you say type shit.
Yeah. There's a way for you to. There's a way for black men to approach. There's a way for black men to approach the white power structure, whether it just be white people in general, whether it be the police. And please understand and believe that black officers play a key role in the white power structure as well. But there's a way for black men to approach the white power structure in a way where it's assertive, but you're not about to smack nobody in their face. Now, it's certain situations where you would have to smack somebody in the face.
Go on, man.
Like, in certain situations, somebody
won't be approached with a couple smacks.
Yeah, like in certain situations, like somebody gotta be smacked. But you have to use judgment and you have to use discernment in that. Like, please know when the time is right. When the time is right for that. And be strong and confident in who you are as a person. The first sign of weakness that's seen by the white power structure that eat you alive. So be strong and confident in who you are as a person.
That's what I tell my boyfriend. Whenever we get in arguments with people, I usually talk because I don't stutter. So even though he might know everything, he stutters when he gets anxious. And when people hear you stuttering, they on your ass. They, every time you stutter, they talking. And it's like, so I be trying to tell him, even though you know something, make sure you slow down and like say what you mean and mean what you say. And I always tell people all the time, like, when you're black, you're dumb. You're stupid, you're all this stuff, and you have to automatically think that people look at you like that. And you kind of gotta overshow yourself sometimes, if you know what I mean. And yeah, it does suck, but
we gotta work twice as hard.
I was about to say, that's kind of what we have to do.
We gotta work twice as hard to make sure that people understand just how important and just how powerful we are as people. But and this is the funny part about this. Society has made us as black people feel like we have to work twice as hard for other people to recognize the power that we possess. They already know.
They do. And it's crazy because that's actually the reason why we're held down so much, is because they know the power that we have. But I feel like you're right. We constantly try to prove that we're this almighty power, and everybody's like, nigga, we know.
Like, we know that already.
We trying to stop you. Like,
why do you think we specifically brought y'all over here to be chattel slaves?
We ain't bring nobody here.
Why do y'all think we specifically went to y'all country?
True.
To y'all continent to go get y'all?
Here's another question, man. What do you think is holding us back the most? Not even as like just Pensacola, just as being a black man, seeing how black people move together, because it's not a stereotype. We all know how the fuck we move. Yeah. So it's like, what do you think we could perfect? What are we doing wrong?
We have to know how to better build coalition with one another. We also got to know that black people aren't a monolith. So every black person ain't the same.
They're not.
But every black person's not the same. But if what you're doing as a black person is causing destruction or degradation to black people as a whole, then you're what I call a white supremacist apologist. Meaning you be caping heavy. You be caping heavy for white people in the white power structure, and I don't get down with that.
Yeah,
I don't get down with that. It's different ways that we can. It's different roads that we can take to get to black liberation. But if what you're presenting to me, I know for a fact, and everybody else that's sitting at the table knows for a fact that what you're presenting is ultimately going to present the downfall to our people, to us as a people, yeah, nah, like, no, we good. Like, we straight. Candace Owens, we straight. Like, we alright. Ben Carson,
we okay.
Ben Carson, we alright. Clarence Thomas, we alright. Like, these are specifically people who have presented things, who have put things on the table. Put things on the table saying, yo, this is what we need to do as black people to get ourselves out of no. Like,
and that's really why I asked you, is because everybody thinks that. Everybody thinks that just because you're black, you kind of like in tune with every other black person in the world. Like, people in my will like hear a rap song and be like, it sounds like a club in here, and look directly at me, and I'm like, the fuck that got to do with me? Like,
I might not even like rap music.
It's crazy that we kind of get grouped all into one, but at the same time, we are all one, because even if you're light skinned and you're mostly white, you've been, somebody has treated you wrong for some strange ass reason.
Bruh, like,
it doesn't even.
Bro, when they pull you over, I don't care how light skinned you are. I don't care how chocolate dark you are. When they pull you over in that car, you a nigga. You are a whole nigga to them. Like, bruh, like, it's no
middle ground.
way to get. It's no other way to get around that.
Unless you're in the military, because I ain't gonna lie. The fact that veteran is on my ID has saved me from so many things. People be like, 94 miles an hour in the 30 zone. Oh, you a veteran, nigga. What the hell? Go ahead. You must be going fast for a reason. Yeah.
But God bless you for your service.
Thank you.
Thank you for your service. That one. Nah, like I remember, like, I never forget it. Back in 2014, I had a conversation with this one guy, and he tried to swear me up and down, like, yo, like, I don't really think racism really exists like that in America. It's a black dude, black dude in Air Force, had just got stationed at Tyndall Air Force Base in Panama City.
He finna figure it out.
And this is when I first, this is when I was still living in Panama. And so he was like, yo, I don't really think it's racism like that in America. I just think if we all came together as people, as one, that BS. So, so then he proceeds to tell us this story about how he's from Colorado, and he drove to get to the Air Force Base. He drove from Colorado to Florida. Drove from Colorado to Florida.
It's a long ass way.
His parents, he proceeds to tell us the story about how his parents specifically told him, when you're driving on your way to Florida to Tyndall Air Force Base, make sure you keep your uniform on at all times. Cuz had souped up Dodge Charger. The junk looked dope.
Wear that bitch.
But had Colorado plates on it. They was like, make sure. And so when he tells us this story, I looked at him and I was like, I said, both your parents black, right? He's like, yeah. I said, why?
The fuck do you think they told you?
Why do you think your parents told you to keep your uniform on at all times when you was driving from Colorado to Florida? And he was like, oh, that's literally I said. He was like, oh, I was like, yeah. I said, this conversation's over.
Do you want to know? I know we got plenty of these stories to knock out, but my nigga, I literally was speeding very fast on the interstate with a thing of spaghetti going back from the Air Force Base with my leftovers. And this man saw me, and like my cousin's freaking out. You remember PJ probably? Yeah, he passed away by the way, but he's on to a better place. But this nigga freaking out. He like hyperventilating. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? He's like, we're going 94 miles an hour. I saw the fucking thing. We're going to jail. I said, I was in the military. Yeah, you don't understand. I may be black, but I was in the military. And I said, not only was I in the military, I have this jacket, which proves that I am in the Air Force right now.
Like, we good.
Yeah, I said we good.
It's like, we're fine.
This nigga cried when the cop came to the window. He said, can you put your window down, sir? He was like, man, I didn't do anything. I was like, he's like, can you get out the car? I was like, yeah, we're just coming from, Duke Air Force Base. Had a potluck. That's why I got this spaghetti. He's like, man, do you know you're going 24? He's going 94 miles an hour. That's 24 miles an hour over the speed limit. You know I can take you to jail. I was like, yeah. He's like, I'm not going to. Go ahead and go home, but I'm definitely writing you a ticket. I had to pay $400, but I didn't go to jail. So, he definitely could have took me to fuck jail.
Like you really supposed to go to jail.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie to you. 94 in the 94. That's
in Hope. Hope. That's where I got caught, nigga. Hope.
Hope, Florida. Oh yeah, you definitely supposed to go to jail. You absolutely. Like, I've been through Hope, Florida. You absolutely was supposed to go to jail. You definitely was supposed to.
And coming from Crespi, that's only like 10 minutes down the damn street.
Bruh, you absolutely was supposed to go to jail. You definitely was supposed to go. Like, yeah, I know he looked at you and just like, thank you for your service.
Get the fuck on, nigga.
Like, I had homeboys in Bay County that was in the Air Force. Like, they always used to be like, yeah, like, one of the main reasons I'm gonna stay in the Air Force for a while is because I know that junk gonna get me out of jail and
the cops ain't gonna fuck
parking tickets. Like, it's gonna get me out of jail and parking tickets. Like, I was like, bruh.
The military definitely gives you leeway, and if they really need people, it don't matter what the fuck you do because they need people at the end of the day.
Bruh, shout out to the military. Like, they've been brainwashing niggas since the beginning of time, but like, yo, like, it gets people out of tough and dangerous situations that otherwise, if you was a civilian, no.
Bro, I got first pick for a lot of jobs just because I was in the military. That's why I'm gonna tell my son, nigga, go ahead and do that 3 years.
Just do 3.
Just do 3. And by the time, and niggas don't even realize, you spend a year and a half in fucking basic training. Whatever your job is, that's another 6 to 8 months. If you do 4 years, nigga, you only doing your job for a year. And then your ass is out. So it's like, really, they just paying you to march around and get yelled at. And what I remembered in the military is, they can't hit you. As soon as I realized these niggas can't hit me, and it's against the law to hit me, and they had all the rape allegations for fucking 2016, nigga, I was in the military at the great time, because they wasn't hitting you, they wasn't doing nothing, because everybody was scared to go to jail.
Yep.
We was just waltzing through that bitch doing whatever the fuck we want.
And I know it's gotta be even more like restrictions and regulations going down now because of COVID.
And I know they're lax on the people coming in. Like, they could say it's hard or whatever, but it was mentally hard. Not being able to see my family was hard. Not being able to talk to them. But being at that base, doing those dumbass drills or whatever the fuck we did, like, that truly wasn't hard. And it's like, I know they just got so many rules that they can't hit you no more. That's against the fucking law for another nigga to hit me. So it's like, once they pass that, it's like, how can you control somebody? If I said, Jamil, I'm gonna smack the fuck out of you, but never smack you, you probably would smack me back eventually. Like, you ain't just gonna keep saying you gonna smack.
Like, you ain't smacking nobody, nigga. You ain't smacking nobody.
You just gotta repeat it. But yeah, man, we'll go ahead and finish up this episode. Is there anything else you're going to say to the people? Because I know you're going to be back on here.
Oh, no, absolutely. No, first and foremost, I appreciate the opportunity. I appreciate you looking out, as always. As always, yo, like, social media, everything on social media is Jamal Steele, JamalSteele. If you want more information about Black Voters Matter and what we do as an organization, it's Black Voters MTR on Instagram and honestly all three of them, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Black Voters MTR will take you to Black Voters Matter, or on Facebook, just type in Black Voters Matter. Yeah.